It's Dragon Ball time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the MegaHouse Dragon Ball Gals collection. It's Android 21 in the human form. Also from Dragon Ball FighterZ, there's the logo. Woo! No, but MegaHouse with the Dragon Ball Gals collection. If you're not familiar with it, it's fan service. It's super fan servicey, as the name would say. It only has gals, but yeah, proportions are not realistic at all. So strap yourself in for some good old fan service. It's beautiful, but not without its flaws. But let's have a look. Size-wise, she stands at about 21 centimeters, depending on where you go. If you really want to go up to that hair, it's almost 21 and a half, but 21 centimeters. It's Android 21, how funny. But that's also without the base. 8.3 inches tall. Yeah, that's with the base. I mean without the base, but with the base you can add like not even half an inch, 0.3, which means we got also a little less than a centimeter, like 8 millimeters or something. Now let's get to the figure finally. Enough of the sizes, because size of no, actually I want to look at the face. There's one thing that I feel kind of iffy about the face. I do believe her face is really sharp and small. The jawline should go out a little bit more in my estimation, but this is me. I mean, taking out of the box, that was like the first thing I thought. It's a little bit weird. Maybe the eyes are too far apart. There's just something about the face. It still looks good. It's still painted incredibly well with the eyebrows and the eyes itself. Then you got the earrings. That's why I took the front part of her hair off. You got the earrings, which are molded in. Actually not. No, you can wiggle this around, but it's stuck to the hair, which you cannot take off, from what I can tell. I don't believe so. And then you got the lines on the side over here to slide the glasses in. The glasses are over here. You need to have a little bit of assembly, which I don't like. Why do you make me work? But anyway, earrings, and even like the little one on the top part of her ear. Let me put the hair back on because this looks just kind of weird. I don't want to conduct a review like that. I love the hair sculpt. There is so much detail, and the hair, it might sound weird, but I think the hair is one of the coolest thing about the character, because it's so flowy and it looks good in the game as it just flows a little bit, not too much. But in here you got a million of strands going down, and it's all nicely curled up. There's a lot of shading on it, which makes it look darker in some parts and brighter in other parts, which overall makes a very good effect. I mean, look at this on the tips and all the lines, especially on the head itself, is very, very great. You got the red ribbon logo in the lab coat. The lab coat is not removable. For those of you who are wondering, no, you cannot do that. There's not really something, and especially as the arm goes in there, I don't think there's really any way, even if you're handy with taking the figures apart. I wouldn't recommend it because I don't think it's doable. But yeah, that is there. Fan service, ahoy. The one thing about the dress, other than the boobs, is that they really cut it deep with the lines over here. You can see that this is just molded on. When it's a dress, it shouldn't be, the line shouldn't be as deep. And I know I'm a little bit nitpicky, but this is an expensive figure, alright? This just cost me a mint. Then you got the hips, which are also super exaggerated. Same thing with the line over here. It's only on this side. Seems it looks pretty good on this side. Don't really have any complaints. Same as here. And also, I feel like there's a little bit of paint bleeding from the red into the blue. The blue has shading. I don't really see much on the red. There are some brighter spots up here and one down there. Just a little bit of white. And I think also in the torso. Could be light radiating off of it. Always hard to tell. Speaking of shading, there's also a lot of it on the lab coat, which I really dig, because just a white lab coat would have looked pretty plain. And the lab coat itself is also nicely molded. Nice and flowy. And as far as paint goes, you got the fingernails, which are on there properly. No slips there, and it looks good. Just a little bit more shading in the black. I think that's the only shading they put in the black. Well, it goes a little bit brighter on this arm as well. And it's, well, actually not pants with time again. It's kind of pants under there, but obviously she's wearing a pantyhose. So you're not really seeing much. As far as the pantyhose, it is black. Once again, I do believe there is some shading in it in some parts. But it's hard to tell with these things if it's the light or actual shading. Down to the boots, which are super shiny. I don't remember if the boots are supposed to be shiny. It does give a nice effect for a figure, so I'm not gonna hate on it. And you got some gold on the tips, which is nice and bright. And then you got the Dragon Ball FighterZ base, which is huge, by the way. I'm not a fan of big bases. It just takes up too much space. Let's give me have a look at it. 14.5 centimeters from one side to another, which would mean almost 6 inches. 5.8. Yeah, a little over that. So you got the size of the base. Just, you know, I think these things are important. If you want to have a collection and you want to put her on a shelf and you're like, damn, it doesn't fit in there with the rest of them because all these bases are clashing, which I hate. Before I get to the final thoughts, I want to give you one more detailed look at the face with the glasses, which is actually metal wire. I didn't realize that, but be careful when you bend it, because it's not pre-bent actually on the sides over here. So you don't want to bend the entire frame. Just use very caution or some tools to just give it a nice little tuck and give it a precise movement. And it looks good and it fits, also stays on there. So that works. And I guess as a little bonus, I'm gonna give you a look at both 21s next to each other. You also have Chi-Chi. Let's just get her out of the way real quick. Now I have both 21s, and that's a dream come true. And I don't know if I get any other Dragon Ball Gas collection figures. As you can tell, this is all I have from Dragon Ball Gas, and as you can tell, look at this nice small base. Why are you taking up so much space? But yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, I don't know if I get anything more from the Dragon Ball Gas collection. I just really wanted a Chi-Chi, because I didn't have a Chi-Chi, and I wanted both 21s because I love 21. So yeah, that's about it. And it's gonna do it. That's gonna bring me to the final thoughts for this Android 21 human form figure. This figure looks awesome. This figure looks gorgeous, and it comes at a price. And that's really the only thing I feel like I should talk about, because this figure will cost you over $100 easily. Like, you can go up to 120, or depending on where you get it, 140. I bought it for 100, and then with shipping and everything, yeah, I probably paid 120 and 130, whatever for it. So, as such, I guess my recommendation is very simple. If you're a big fan of Android 21 and you want a really nice, high-quality figure for years to come, this is the one you want to get. But if you're not in that boat, I do not feel the price is validated. And as I mentioned, that's why I'm kind of iffy about the lines over here. It's something you will barely notice, yes, but still, if I'm paying $100 for your girl, you better make it worth it. And the face, you know, with the glasses, the face doesn't really bother me that much anymore. I guess it kind of covers up the eye problem, or I don't know. Still, so yes, I will recommend this figure for Android 21 fans. Everybody else is probably not gonna get their fill out of this one, unless you can find it for cheap. As long as it's not a bootleg. I mean, people are always like, oh, I found this figure for $20 at some store. Yeah, right. Tell me that's legit. It's not. But anyway, I'm getting off track. That's gonna do it, guys, as usual. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Android 21 wants.